Mastermind.
Good morning. Good morning. All right. Well, welcome on Instagram. Welcome on YouTube. And of course, our mastermind group that's on the Zoom right now. Welcome to you. All is well today. And this is going to be an incredible experience today as we move and close out this year. This is a Success Mentorship Class number 408. Can you believe that? Number 408. And one of the beautiful things about having 408 um, episodes is that we can go back to them and we can look at them and we can see them and experience them all over again. You know, one of the advantages of being a part of the network is to have access to all of the videos that we created in the past. All right. I want to, of course, thank you, all of you. We just had our New You for the New Year webinar last week, and it was incredible. Let me just say it was absolutely incredible. And as a result, I think many of you who are on here today may share some of the experiences you had in the webinar, knowing that, wow, okay, knowing that certain incredible things happen that will transform your life. Before we get started, I always, of course, like to have our meditation to get us centered on where we are and what we're about to experience. So let us just set up this morning, sit straight in our seats, take a deep breath, hold it, let it out slowly. Take a deep breath, hold it, let it out slowly. And in this space of peace and relaxation, I am at peace with myself. Let us affirm that. I am at peace with myself. Once more, I am at peace with myself. And just let that peace sink in. Take a deep breath. Let it out slowly. And in this state of peace and relaxation, my mind is open, receptive, and ready to learn. Let us affirm that. My mind is open, receptive, and ready to learn. Take a deep breath. And out slowly. And so it is. This topic, what are we going to do about tomorrow, is one that, as we say, this is Success Mentorship Class number 408. And our topic is, what are you going to do about tomorrow? And this is sort of a segue following up on the webinar we did last weekend, the new You for the New Year. And it's really putting it in a more dynamic context. And so one of the key things to remember is that tomorrow always comes. Tomorrow is a continuation of today. Tomorrow is shaped by the choices we make, the actions we take, the relationships we experience. And so tomorrow is inextricably connected to today. And we are, in fact, co-creators of tomorrow. You know, in a very simplistic fashion, person says, well, you know, God gives us the day. Yes, God gives us time. God gives us the present. In other words, the awareness of being. But what we do with that time, our perspective, how we relate to it, how we engage it, is really our gift to God. And so when we think about what are we going to do about tomorrow and tie it in with closing out the year, tie it in with creating that new you for the new year, it's really not about formulating New Year's resolutions or rushing to finish the task that you set out, although it is important to complete your goals, the things you set out to do. But it's also about having a consciousness, a mindset of completion. I used to have an old partner, Tiamo Raouf, and his statement was always, did you complete yourself? Meaning, did you complete whatever you set out to do in a fashion that is comfortable for you? And so this is a good time of the year to ask yourself, what did I learn over the last year? What did I outgrow over the last year? What no longer serves the person I am becoming? One of the outcomes of the New You for the New Year transformational webinar is that it's about who do you want to become? Who is the person that you want to experience this next year that's coming up? And so when we think about this idea now that completion creates clarity. Once you can complete a vision, once you can complete a thought, it creates clarity. And clarity gives you really momentum. You know, I'm an entrepreneur. And one of the keys about being successful in business is to create a momentum of success, you know, where people traditionally come to your restaurant on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, whatever days you're on, where things happen in a you might say a regular organized fashion. And so when we think about this, if tomorrow always comes, how can we impact tomorrow? What can we do about tomorrow? Number one, tomorrow is always asking for instructions from you. We live on the river of time. So the river of time is always moving. We're a boat on the river of time, and that boat has 4 elements. That boat has a rudder, which is your value system, really that core beliefs. Are you a liar? Are you a truth teller? Do you keep your word? Do you follow through? You know, are you kind? So the rudder that guides your life is your core beliefs. Then your boat has an engine, which is your desire, the things that you want to be, do, and have. It also has a crew, you know, the people you permit to come into your life who either lift you up or tear you down. And then there is the sails, which is really your perspective, your attitude, so that the same wind that blows one ship over, because another ship has set their sails in another way, it pushes it forward. And so when we look at where we are right now, as we're closing out this year, and we say, well, what am I going to do about tomorrow? What can I learn from yesterday that will help me go forward tomorrow? How can I get better? How do I create the person I want to be? And so when we think about this, what am I going to do about tomorrow? There are 4 aspects of it that I want to hit with us that will help us use tomorrow in a way that makes it manifest. Number 1, to realize, of course, that tomorrow always comes, that there's no night so dark that the sun does not rise, and there's no sun so bright that the night does not come. So tomorrow always comes, and you always get results. So when you're on the river of time, if you don't do anything, if you're just on the river of time, as the young people say, if you're just chilling, you're just chilling along. In other words, you're sitting there, maybe you're playing video games, maybe you're watching sports things, but you're not doing anything effective or creative towards creating tomorrow. Tomorrow still comes. You can't get off the river of time. You can't say, no, I don't want to play. Let me land. No, the river of time is absolute. So what happens to you is in your hands. So it's not so much about the things that happen externally. It's about how you participate in creating the tomorrow that you experience. The interesting thing is that you can only participate today. And that's why the present is so important. That's why it's so important that we do, be, and have the things that we must do, be, and have in order to create the vision we want. So this idea that personal responsibility, I am responsible for the life that I live. That gives you great power. It's not to beat you over the head, to blame yourself for lack of performance or for not accomplishing some of the things that you set out to do, but it's a forward-thinking concept. I am responsible to create the life that I experience. And, once you get into a rhythm of success, our neural pathways, the electronic wiring of our brains says that once we get into a certain pattern of thinking, the world tends to conform to that pattern of thinking. We get into a habit thing. You always get up at the same time. You always, execute your daily living plans in a certain way. And so the more you take responsibility for tomorrow, the more tomorrow is molded to the desires that you have. So a power affirmation, I am responsible for the life I live. Let's just say that together. I am responsible for the life I live. So now that gives you great power to create a tomorrow that you want. A tomorrow full of abundance, full of joy, full of happiness, full of the things you want to be, do, and have. Second point is that complete the past to free the future. In other words, there's a relationship between the past and the future, and it's called the present. And so once you take responsibility for your actions, for your thoughts, for your emotions, for your habits, for your relationships in the present, then you change the outcomes that you experience tomorrow. But you may have unfinished baggage, unfinished emotional baggage, unfinished spiritual baggage, unfinished relationship baggage, unfinished trauma baggage. In other words, there may be things that have happened in the past, and as you go forward, you have to clear them away. If you hold on to regrets, regrets will hold on to you. If you hold on to unforgiveness, unforgiveness will hold on to you. In other words, anything you hold on to, positive or negative, you create in your experience of life. And so you have to let go of anything that does not serve you. And when I say serve you, let's look at in a future perspective. Let go of anything that does not serve the person you are going to become. Michael Jordan said that a key to his greatness was not being in the right place at the right time. The key to his greatness was being at the place where the ball was going to be in the next half second, the next second, to be in the place where the ball is going to be. And so this idea of clearing the past to free the future is to get rid of those things that drag you down so that you can be free to negotiate the present in such a way that you can create the future of your desires. So often we talk about the idea of an airplane getting off the ground. And even let's take the analogy let's stay with the boat analogy. If you have too much cargo in your boat, too many negative thoughts, too many negative vibrations, too many things that pull you down, that boat can sink. That boat may not be able to travel as effectively on the river of time. And so clear the past so that you can negotiate the future. Anything that is not congruent with the person you want to become, leave it in the past. Third point, create a clear vision of the new you. Last Saturday we were talking about the new you for the new year, but create a clear vision of the new you spiritually. It says, where there is no vision, the people perish. If you don't have a vision of the life you would like to live, of the person you would like to become, then you won't become it. It will not happen for you. Not having a vision is is having your boat on the river of time with no destination. And so wherever the river wants to take you, that's where you go. Tomorrow always responds to clarity. Vision gives direction to energy. We often say, whatever you focus on grows. That's the law of focus. And so as you create the new tomorrow for yourself, focus on the positive things. Focus on the positive thoughts, the empowering emotions, the supportive actions, people who uplift and believe in you and support your endeavors. See, when you are clear about who you are, the world organizes itself around you so that you now experience the world of your dreams rather than the world mind, what the world mind has for you. The clearer your vision, the more effective you will be in creating the tomorrow you want to experience. And then the fourth point is to act today in alignment with tomorrow. That's a very roundabout way of saying, fake it till you make it. You know, every success book tells you that as you act the part more and more, you become the part more and more. When Muhammad Ali started saying, I am the greatest, people didn't believe it, but he believed it. And he said it until the world acknowledged it. And so when you live in alignment with, you live today in alignment with the tomorrow you want to experience, you take advantage of that connection between today and tomorrow. So today you plant the seeds that will grow tomorrow. You know, we look at finances, many times people did not prepare for growing older. And so at the end of their lifespan, or you might say their earning career, many people, they find they don't have enough money to live in a comfortable way. And so that's a tomorrow that you could prepare for. One of the things I love about financing and you might say the financial aspects of life is that the money is the simple part. The money is the easy part. I was looking I just saw Ken Williams. He's a financial planner. It's very easy to say, let me set aside X amount of dollars every week, every month, and let me invest it in a mutual fund or in some investment vehicle that yields X%. And it's very predictable over time what you will have. And so the rest of life is the same way, to start acting today like the person you want to be tomorrow. Someone once said that the experience you have today is built on the habits you had yesterday. And so the experience you'll have tomorrow, that you create tomorrow, is built on today's habits. Small, disciplined actions taken consistently. Many of us start out with grand intentions, but do not support those intentions with those specific actions that will lead you to where you want to be. So on these 4 principles now, we have a foundation for what are you going to do about tomorrow. Take responsibility for it. Clear up your past baggage. Get rid of all the baggage. Create a new vision for yourself. And then act today in alignment with the person you want to be tomorrow. So now let's look at it from some practical stuff. That's important. Some things that you can do each day. And that's one of the, when we were doing the New You for the New Year transformational webinar last week, we wanted to end up with actual step-by-step things that you could do each day to create the life you want. And so these are some tips on daily activities that you can do that can help you be, do, and have whatever you desire. Number 1, begin each day with intention. You see, intention is focus in a very spiritual way. You start out with a certain attitude. On the boat that is your life, you start out each day saying, I know that I'm going to a good place. Identify at least one intention that you're going to experience. Maybe it's peace. I just want to be happy and peaceful in my life. I don't want drama. I intend to be more focused. Whatever I set out to do today, I'm going to stick with it until it's done. Maybe it's courage. I'm going to define boundaries now. I'm not going to let people treat me a certain kind of way. If you're going to deal with me, you have to deal with me in this way. Maybe it's discipline. To begin each day with that discipline, saying that from moment to moment, I will ask myself, what is the best use of my time right now? And act accordingly. There's a beautiful affirmation, and it says, I am aligned with the future I am creating. I am aligned with the future I am creating. Second key, every day, choose one high impact action and get it done. You know, in my daily routine, I have what I call the big six. And these are 6 things I want to accomplish each day, but it's in the order of priority. If you always do the most important things first, you'll have an effective life. You'll get closer to the vision you want to experience. So every day contains a number of actions that are important, but identify at least one thing each day that moves your life, that moves your finances, that moves your purpose forward. Even if you fall down, fall forward. Consistency beats intensity every time. The Grand Canyon was not created by this massive flow of water in any particular moment. It was created by the consistent flow of water over millions of years. It cut through the rock. And so ask yourself, if there's one super important thing that's going to make a difference in my life today, what is it? And then commit to get it done. Third key, set a watch over your inputs. Govern your inputs. In other words, be very protective of what you permit to come into your life. What you feed your mind today becomes tomorrow's behavior. I'm going to say that again. What you feed your mind today becomes tomorrow's behavior. So limit your exposure to negativity. Stay away from negative thoughts. Anytime a negative thought comes into your mind, say, that's not for me. Anytime something that's not pleasant happens to you, ask, what's the lesson that I must learn to get through this? So limit negativity, limit distractions, limit emotional noise. There's a great power to, as they say, going into the closet, going into that place of peace and quiet so that you can be at one with your vibrations. Every day, read, listen to. All of us should have a reading program. If you just read one paragraph a day, fine. But should have a regular reading program where you commit to learn something new every day. It's amazing. The more you learn, the more you strive to learn, the more your mind responds. Just as you go to the gym and do your push-ups and sit-ups and pick up the weights and everything, you build muscles, you tone your muscles. Well, your mind operates the same way. And remember that the subconscious mind objectifies, creates whatever it absorbs. So what we're really saying is the subconscious mind operates positively or negatively. Whatever you put there is going to grow. So if you put fear in your subconscious mind, as the book of Job says, the things I feared have come upon me, you'll attract fear. But if you put love in the subconscious mind, you'll attract love. So govern what comes into your mind. Put a watch over your mouth, put a watch over your eyes, put a watch over everything that comes into your experience of life. And only accept those things that are congruent with the person you want to become. There are people you have to limit their exposure because you can't change them. This journey is a very independent journey in the sense that the decisions you make are your decisions. You may get input from others, but it's a very individual journey, and each person must do their own. Fourth key, practice completion every evening. In other words, debrief every day. When you look at life as a business and operate it that way, the results you get are like a business, predictable. If you operate a business in a certain way to produce a profit, every day you analyze your income and your expenses. At the end of the week, you know where you're at. At the end of the month, you know where you're at. Well, treat life the same way. At the end of each day, ask, what did I do well today? And write it down. I recommend that you have a journal. I'm a firm believer in journaling. I have notebooks going back 30 years. What did I do well today? Make a note. Can you imagine what that does to your psyche? What lesson did today teach me? What lesson did today teach me? You ask that question and write down some answers, and it will blow your mind. Sometimes the lesson said you need to get up earlier. Sometimes the lesson said you should have started this program last year. This is another big one. What can I release today that will impact tomorrow in a positive way? What can I release today? Maybe a bad habit. Many of us right now are doing weight stuff for the holidays. We'll release that desire to have more sugar, release that desire to eat the extra cookie, the extra ice cream. Fifth key, prepare tomorrow before you go to sleep. You see, tomorrow responds to preparation. So when you're operating on a high level, then you choose what's important for tomorrow, your top priority items, activities for tomorrow. You decide how and when you'll begin your day. You want to get into a rhythm of getting up at the same time every day. You want to lay out your clothes and whatever the night before. The more preparation you can do for tomorrow, the more likely tomorrow will conform to the things you want it to be. Also, when you start laying out that picture the night before you go to bed, your subconscious mind is working while you're sleeping. And it's amazing when you operate from that list and that schedule of things to do. And when you've laid it out the night before you go to bed and you sleep on it, it creates a vibration within you. When you wake up the next day, you are literally centered. Your mind has automatically prepared you to get maximum results. Number 6, this is a big one, folks. Align your words with the future you. So when we talked about the new you for the new year, then that new you is a person who only speaks words that are aligned with who they want to be. So speak in the way with words that embrace who you're becoming. I'm a kind, outgoing person. I'm smart. I have lots of energy. My mind operates on a high level. I am a champion. I am the greatest. Those words that align with you. Your language programs who you are. The scripture says, in the beginning is the word. In the beginning of your reality is what you say about yourself. So leave out words like I'll try and just say I do. I am becoming more focused and disciplined in everything I do. Woo! You do that affirmation. I am more focused and disciplined in everything I do. You've changed the world. You changed your world. And finally, end each day with gratitude. See, gratitude primes the pump of abundance. Wherever you are grateful for, you get more of. So let me summarize everything. I know we've covered a lot today, but it was important. The 4 foundational beliefs, the 4 thoughts, the 4 points. Take responsibility for tomorrow. You have the power to create it exactly the way you want it to be. Complete the past to free the future. Get rid of all the baggage, all the negative experience, all the trauma, all the things that hold you down and pull you back. Create a clear vision of the new you. See your promised land. See that person you want to be, do, and experience. And act today in alignment with tomorrow. As we say, fake it till you make it. Act like the champion, you'll be like the champion. And then these actual steps, these day-to-day steps that will help you, these little tidbits. Number 1, begin each day with intention. Start your day deciding who you will be, not just what you will do. 2, choose one high-impact action every day and get it done. 3, govern and be aware of your inputs. Don't let garbage in, and you won't have garbage out. 4, practice conscious completion every day, every evening. Look back and analyze. What did I do right? What lessons did I learn? What will I not do tomorrow? 5, prepare tomorrow before you go to sleep. Create the vision you want to experience tomorrow the night before you go to bed. 6, align your words with the future you, the person you want to be, doing the things you want to do. And finally, 7, be grateful. Be grateful for all the good things that have happened to you today. So, folks, thank you so much. When you can do this, when you can create tomorrow in the way that you want it to be, nothing is impossible. You can be what you want to be. You can do what you want to do, and you can have anything you desire, always knowing that the best is yet to come. Wow. Let's just take a deep breath and pause for a moment. Let it out slowly. And in this moment, I want to thank each and every one of you on Instagram, and please share this message. Those of you on YouTube, be sure to share this message with at least 3 other people and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Visit our website, www.herbertharris.com, and schedule a success consultation, a complimentary success consultation to help you find the new you. And be sure to get a copy of our book, The 12 Universal Laws of Success. So those online, thank you so much for being with us today. Be sure to visit our website, herbertharris.com, and learn more about what we're doing. Those of you on our Zoom in the mastermind group, hold tight. We're going to have some powerful discussion and sharing. And remember this, you can be what you want to be, do what you want to do, and have anything you desire, always knowing that the best is yet to come. So it is.